third quarter of the year to be around $10.6 billion, up a whopping 58% on year. South Korean Trade Minister Yoo Myung-hee has reportedly made it onto the final running list for the Director General post at the World Trade Organization, raising the possibility of becoming the first South Korean national to do so. Europe has recorded over 6 million COVID-19 cases as many countries across the continent, including France and Germany, continue to grapple with the virus. Our top story this morning, South Korean tech giant Samsung Electronics is in its guidance for the third quarter, reported its largest operating profit in 2 years. According to the company's earnings guidance on Thursday, it expects to make more than $10.6 billion in operating profit for July to September this year. That's a whopping 58% jump from what it posted for the same period last year. The report also forecasts third quarter sales to be around $57 billion, an all-time high quarterly sales figure. Analysts say the company's improved semiconductor business performance, strong sales of its latest smartphone models, and enhanced marketing efficiencies for smartphones and TVs might have helped the firm post high earnings. On the COVID-19 situation here in the nation, South Korea reported 69 new cases on Thursday. The figure was back below 100 after peaking at 114 the previous day. Of the new cases, 60 were locally transmitted and 9 were from overseas. The total number of cases stands at over 24,400. 2 more people have died from the virus, raising the death toll to 427. The accumulated COVID-19 caseload across Europe has topped 6 million. This comes as many countries there, including France and Italy, continue to grapple with a rapid surge in new cases. Our Kim Hyo-sun has a wrap-up.
Europe has recorded over 6 million COVID-19 cases as many countries across the continent continue to grapple with the virus. Since the virus first hit the region in January, an AFP tally shows over 237,000 people have died. Russia has been hit the hardest, with a total caseload surpassing 1.24 million, followed by Spain and France, with some 825,000 and 669,000 cases respectively. France on Wednesday yet again posted a new record high number of daily cases at nearly 19,000. The country has continued to see daily new cases surpassing the 10,000 mark for the past week or so. In response, the French government has put in place a maximum alert for Paris and its surrounding suburbs to contain the spread and signaled that additional measures could be implemented. Italy has mandated the wearing of face masks outdoors nationwide in an effort to contain the virus. While the country had been curbing the virus by imposing a lockdown earlier this year, Italy has seen a steady rise in the number of new cases over the last 2 months. On Wednesday, it has reported over 3,600 cases, the first time the number has climbed over the 3,000 mark in 5 months. New COVID-19 restrictions are also being imposed in Berlin as the German government seeks to contain the spread. Starting Saturday, nightlife venues in the capital will have to close their doors between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. the following day. The country is also banning family gatherings of more than 5 people from more than 2 households, as well as private gatherings of more than 10 people. Germany reported more than 2,800 cases on Wednesday, with 288 cases concentrated in Berlin. Kim Hyo-sun, Arirang News.
The Federal Reserve has expressed concern that the U.S. economic recovery will slow down if there is no more economic stimulus. According to the minutes from the Federal Open Market Committee meeting last month, the outlook assumed additional COVID-19 fiscal support. However, it said growth for the fourth quarter will slow down if financial support is not provided. The committee also added that if future fiscal support was substantially smaller or arrives later than planned, the recovery would be slower. Moreover, the Fed has maintained its near-zero federal funds rate, with longer-term interest rates already very low. With a few weeks to go before the U.S. election, there are heated discussions on the scope of COVID-19 relief funds. South Korea managed to post a current account surplus in August for the 4th consecutive month. but it was mainly due to a bigger decline in imports than exports. The Bank of Korea said Thursday that the country's current account surplus came to around $6.6 billion, up $1.7 billion on year. While exports fell more than 10% from the same month last year, it was offset by imports, which were down even more by some 17%. The service account deficit narrowed by $0.8 billion due to fewer overseas travelers, an improvement on July's deficit. South Korean Trade Minister Yoo Myung-hee has reportedly made it onto the final list of running for the Director General post at the World Trade Organization. With this, the possibility of having the first South Korean and a female chief running the WTO is now higher. Our Choi Jung-yun reports.
The final two candidates running for the World Trade Organization's new chief have reportedly been selected. And one of them is South Korea's Trade Minister Yoo Myung-hee, according to Bloomberg sources. The Geneva-based trade body plans to formally announce the results to its delegates at its closed meeting Thursday morning local time. During her campaign, Yoo vowed to focus on rebuilding trust in the multilateral trade system by making it, quote, more relevant, resilient, and responsive if she becomes a new WTO leader.
WTO needs to be more responsive to global challenges and contingencies for the benefit of all its members.
Also on the shortlist with Yoo is Nigeria's Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, a former managing director of the World Bank who also served as our country's finance and foreign affairs minister. The two candidates, both female, means the WTO will be led by a woman for the first time in its 25-year history. If Yoo gets a nod, she will also be the first South Korean in the position. The third and final phase of the consultation process will begin later this month, with the result likely before November 7th. If WTO members are unable to select a leader by consensus, a vote requiring a qualified majority could be held as a last resort, which would be an unprecedented development for the organization. Choi Jung-yun, Arirang News.
President Moon Jae-in has reiterated his call for an end-of-war declaration, expressing hope that South Korea and the U.S. can work together toward one. He made the proposal at a virtual gala of Korea Society, a U.S.-based nonprofit organization that seeks to promote bilateral ties between Seoul and Washington. Our Blue House correspondent Kim Min-ji reports.
President Moon Jae-in has expressed hope South Korea and the U.S. can cooperate toward a declaration formally ending the 1950-53 Korean War, saying it'll pave the way for peace and make their alliance even greater. He made the remarks Wednesday during a virtual keynote speech for the 2020 annual gala of the Korea Society, a nonprofit organization based in New York that works to enhance ties between Seoul and Washington.
한반도 종전 선언을 위해 양국이 협력하고 국제사회의 적극적인 동참을 이끌게 되길 희망합니다. 전쟁을 억제하는 것뿐 아니라 적극적으로 평화를 만들고 제도화할 때 우리의 동맹은 더욱 위대해질 것입니다.
Noting the stalled peace drive on the peninsula, President Moon said the allies cannot backtrack on their hard-earned progress. The president added that South Korea will engage in close communication and coordination with the U.S., as well as continue efforts to build trust with North Korea with an open mind and heart. As for Seoul-Washington relations, President Moon said the alliance has become stronger and more mature over the past 67 years, with the allies cooperating on both regional and global issues. He stressed that it's time to take relations to another level, noting President Donald Trump's decision to invite South Korea to the next G7 summit.
양국 간의 깊은 상호 신뢰를 바탕으로 국제적 위상에 걸맞은 한국의 책임과 역할을 요구한 것으로 생각합니다.
President Moon added that Seoul will live up to these expectations and join concerted global efforts to beat the COVID-19 pandemic. Kim Min-ji, Arirang News.
The 2020 Nobel Prize in Chemistry has been awarded to two female scientists for their role in developing a method for genome editing. Our Lee Seung-jae has the details.
The Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences on Wednesday awarded the 2020 Nobel Prize in Chemistry, naming two female scientists as the joint winners.
The Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences has today decided to award the 2020 Nobel Prize in Chemistry jointly to Emmanuelle Charpentier and Jennifer Doudna for the development of a method for genome editing.
The two scientists worked on genetic scissors that can cut DNA at a precise location, allowing for scientists to make specific changes to specific genes. According to the Nobel Committee, their work has had a revolutionary impact on the life sciences and is currently contributing to new cancer therapies and may make curing inherited diseases a possibility. So far, using this technology, known as CRISPR-Cas9, doctors have been able to experimentally treat sickle cell disease with promising results. While a female winner in Nobel Prize in chemistry is rare in itself, it's the first time ever that two female scientists have won. Doudna, an American, is the president and founder of Innovative Genomics Institute at UC Berkeley, while Charpentier, a French scientist, is with the Max Planck Unit for the Science of Pathogens in Berlin. Their breakthrough research was only published in 2012, making the discovery recent compared to many Nobel winners, who are often only honored after decades have passed. In recent years, the Nobel committees have been increasing diversity among researchers nominated for Nobel Prize in Sciences. They have previously been criticized for historically overlooking the achievements of both women and people of color. Lee Seung-jae, Arirang News.
The world's largest tropical wetlands, the Pantanal, is being destroyed by record-breaking fires. Massive fires have consumed more than a quarter of the region this year, threatening one of the most biodiverse ecosystems on the planet. Our Kim Jae-hee has the story.
The Pantanal, stretching across Brazil, Bolivia, and Paraguay, is considered an ecological treasure trove along with the Amazon rainforest. But devastating fires are causing massive destruction to one of the most biodiverse regions on Earth. According to data from the Laboratory for Environmental Satellite Applications at a Brazilian university, nearly 27% of the Pantanal burned down from January to October 3rd. The LASA warns that the blazes, fueled by drought, are getting out of control. Brazilian National Institute for Space Research data shows the number of fires in the region between January and September this year totaled 18,259. What's more concerning is that 8,106 fires have been reported in September alone. This is the largest monthly record since 1998, when INPE surveys began. Reports also indicate that fires deliberately set on private land for livestock breeding are spreading to indigenous lands, causing irreversible damage. Volunteers and veterinarians are rushing to save the wildlife.
Everything is very burned. The trees are burned. Many animals that depend on fruits and seeds will not have those resources. So we're seeing a large migration of animals.
Amid the blazes burning with historic force, environmental activists are warning of the growing threat of climate change, calling for quick and decisive action. Kim Jae-hee, Arirang News.
Good morning. Today marks Hanno, meaning cold dew, and it means the arrival of chillier temperatures. And usually around this time of year, the weather gets far colder with the season's first frost, which we have been dealing with this week. That said, readings are forecast to be a couple notches higher today in most regions. The highs today will range from 21 to 24 degrees Celsius, and Seoul will get up to 24 degrees, Daegu a bit cooler at 23 degrees Celsius, but skies will be mostly sunny nationwide. The three-day weekend starts tomorrow as Friday's Hangul Day. Warmer readings and sunny skies will be featured, while the East Coast and Jeju will see rain on Saturday. Looking ahead, the capital region will remain dry and sunny, but it's going to get much chillier next week, so you might want to take out your warmer clothes this weekend. That's Korea for you, and here's a look at the weather conditions around the world.
That's a wrap for us at the hour on Arirang News. We'll be back with more of the day's headlines at noon Korea time, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
Wearing a face mask on your way to work. Thoroughly washing your hands. Having your mask on in indoor public spaces. Keeping your distance when ordering coffee to go. Avoiding social gatherings to head home early. Your small efforts make up the way to recovery. Overcoming COVID-19 together. Let's all stick to the basics. Climate counterattack. Climate change caused by global warming. Awareness about severe air pollution.